nearly $100 million in one weekend. People dancing in theaters, strangers moonwalking in the aisles, the biggest opening for a musical biopic in the history of cinema. And at the center of it all, a nephew playing his uncle, wearing the same glove, hitting the same notes, and making the entire world believe that the king of pop never really left. This is the story behind Michael, the movie Hollywood was terrified to make. Before the glove, before the moonwalk, before Thriller sold more copies than any album in human history, there was a small house in Gary, Indiana, and a steel worker named Joseph Jackson who had a dream his sons would never have to work in a factory. It was 1966. Joseph assembled his 5 boys, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and the youngest, Michael, into a band called the Jackson 5. They rehearsed in the garage, they performed at local talent shows, and the youngest one, barely 8 years old, sang with a voice so powerful that grown men stopped what they were doing just to listen. That boy did not just have talent. He had something else, something that comes along once in a generation. A fire inside him that burned so bright it would eventually light up every stage on the planet and slowly, quietly consume him from within. The film captures this beautifully. The cramped rehearsals, Joseph's iron discipline, the moment Berry Gordy at Motown Records heard young Michael sing and realized he was staring at something the world had never seen before. And the heartbreaking reality underneath it all, a childhood that was never really a childhood at all. The Jackson 5 became a sensation. 4 #1 hits in a row, television appearances that made them household names overnight. But it was never the group the world was watching. It was the little one in the front, the one who moved like no human being had ever moved before. By the late 1970s, Michael stepped out on his own. He teamed up with legendary producer Quincy Jones, a partnership that would change music forever. Their first album together, Off the Wall, was a masterpiece. But it was their second collaboration that rewrote the rules of what pop music could be. Thriller, released in 1982, 66 million copies sold worldwide, 7 top 10 singles from one album. The music video for Thriller alone became the most iconic 14 minutes ever filmed. The moonwalk debuted on live television during Motown's 25th anniversary special. And the next morning, every kid on the planet was sliding backwards across their kitchen floor. Michael Jackson didn't just make music, he invented a new language. Dance became storytelling, music videos became short films. A single white glove became the most recognized fashion symbol on Earth. He was not a pop star. He was a phenomenon that the world had no category for. The film recreates these moments with jaw-dropping precision, and at the heart of every scene stands Jaafar Jackson, Michael's own nephew, playing his uncle with such eerie, breathtaking accuracy that audiences have reported forgetting they are watching an actor at all. But Michael is not just a celebration. It is also a confession about what fame does to a person who was never given the chance to be a person. The film follows Michael through the loneliness of Neverland, the pressure of being the most famous human being alive, the physical pain of years of performing that pushed his body beyond its limits, the identity crisis of a man whose face changed so dramatically that the world could not stop staring and could never stop asking why. And then there is the controversy. The film itself could not escape. The original cut ran nearly 4 hours. It confronted the abuse allegations head-on, But a legal clause was discovered in a past settlement, one that prohibited depicting a specific accuser in any commercial project. The entire third act had to be rewritten. 22 days of reshoots followed. The budget reportedly climbed to $200 million. Paris Jackson, Michael's own daughter, called an early script sugar-coated and questioned Hollywood's ability to tell her father's truth. Critics have echoed that concern. Reviews have been mixed, many praising Jaafar's performance as extraordinary while calling the story sanitized. But audiences? Audiences do not care about critics right now. They are filling theaters. They are crying. They are dancing. They are remembering why they fell in love with this man's music in the first place. The opening weekend landed at nearly $100 million domestically, shattering the record previously held by Straight Outta Compton. The worldwide total has already crossed $217 million in just days. IMAX alone pulled in over $24 million globally, the biggest IMAX debut for any musical biopic ever. The trailer had already signaled this was coming. Over 116 million views in 24 hours, more than any music biopic trailer in history, more than Bohemian Rhapsody, more than the Eras Tour film, Lionsgate's biggest trailer launch ever. And now, whispers of a sequel are growing louder. The original 4-hour cut reportedly contains enough unused footage for an entire second film covering the bad era, the dangerous tour, and the final years. A title card at the end of the film quietly hints, this story is not over. Michael Jackson was born in a small house in Gary, Indiana. He died in a rented mansion in Los Angeles. And somewhere between those two rooms, he became the most extraordinary performer the world has ever known. He could not save himself. But his music? His music saved millions, and now, sitting in a dark theater, watching his nephew wear the glove and hit the notes and move like gravity forgot to hold him down, millions of people are remembering something they almost forgot. That once upon a time, a boy from nowhere taught the entire planet how to dance. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, because next time we are telling you the truth about what really happened in Michael Jackson's final 24 hours. And that story will change everything you thought you knew.